is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
It's Thursday, August 13th, and right now on Good Morning Indiana.
I am really glad to see that the prosecutor's office, the police department, everyone wants to move forward.
A violent arrest caught on camera, and now 2 IMPD officers are facing multiple charges in connection to this incident. This morning, the very latest from the prosecutor's office.
The need for families regarding these services is going to be cataclysmic.
The state's moratorium on evictions ends tomorrow. Working for you, how one local organization is stepping up to help families in need. The Good Faith Initiative is ready to relaunch, how the program is helping parents get back on the road to success.
Good morning and welcome to Good Morning Indiana on this Thursday, August the 13th. I'm Rafael Sanchez, coming to you live from your official Johnson County studio here at WRTV 6 as we continue to social distance. My good friends, Lauren Casey in Studio A, and of course, in America's best basement, our meteorologist, Todd Clausen, is standing by.
Oh my goodness. Todd, you have a pretty warm summer-like forecast for our Thursday. What can folks expect as they head out right now?
You know, it's really, really comfortable, Lauren, across central Indiana right now. Some temperatures have dipped into the upper 50s in northern locations. Up in the Kokomo and Marion area, as temperatures to the south are in the 70s still. And the difference is there's a little more in the way of cloud cover in southern locations. Kind of acts like a blanket, so the warmth doesn't just move off into the upper levels of the atmosphere. And so that's why temperatures are running warmer to the south than they are to the north. But everybody's dealing with fairly low humidity. Waiting for the sky starting to brighten. Sunrise not officially for about another 50 to 52 minutes or so across the area right before 7 o'clock. And you can see a little bit of that cloud cover to the south, otherwise partly cloudy skies. If you're seeing the cloud cover right now, that'll burn off pretty quickly once the sun comes up. And then throughout the day today, plenty of sunshine, high temperatures anywhere from about 83 to 87 degrees for us with a mixture of sun and clouds. Our normal high is 84, so we're right on par for that for this time of year. And the humidity, you'll notice it a smidge, but overall, pretty comfortable here for the day today. More on your extended forecast coming up in just a little bit, Lauren.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. It is a pretty smooth morning drive. Here's a look right now at our camera down at I-65 and I-465, the interchange there on the south side. Traffic is traveling up to speed in all directions. Great news if you're heading out the door this Thursday. New from overnight, Metro Police are investigating a shooting on the city's east side. This happened in the 2700 block of East Michigan Street, just off Rural Street. Police tell us they were called to this area on 1:30 this morning on reports of shots fired. When they arrived, they found a male victim. He was taken to the hospital in critical condition. Right now, there is no word on any suspect information.
And Lauren, also overnight, a 28-year-old woman is recovering after being shot on the city's west side. Police responded to the area of 3900 block of Eagle Creek Parkway. Now, when they arrived, they found the victim suffering from a gunshot wound. We're told that she may have been shot a few blocks away near Idlewood. If you have any information on any of these crimes this morning, you can leave an anonymous tip by calling Crime Stoppers. That number is 317-262-TIPS. This morning, 2 Metro police officers facing criminal charges in connection to the May protests are set to make their first court appearance.
This after the grand jury issued indictments in the case. Our Alyssa Donovan joins us live this morning with all the details. Alyssa, good morning.
Good morning, Lauren. Marion County Prosecutor Ryan Mears made the announcement of the indictments yesterday. The 2 officers face 6 charges each, and this all stems from an incident that happened back in May. The criminal charges were due to a protest downtown Indianapolis. 2 women filed a lawsuit against 4 IMPD officers. Video of the arrest of one of the women went viral. The video shows IMPD officers repressing a woman with batons and pepper bullets, while another woman was pushed to the ground before being apprehended. We spoke with one city county councilor who says this shows the community that people will be held accountable for their actions.
See the system move the way it was supposed to, and in a way that wasn't politicized and wasn't a thing, it was refreshing.
The two officers facing charges include Officer Jonathan Horlock, who faces 3 battery charges along with perjury, obstruction of justice, and official misconduct, and Officer Nathaniel Shawwecker, who is facing 4 battery charges and 2 official misconduct charges. IMPD Police Chief Randall Taylor issued a statement regarding the incident, saying, "I hold great respect for our criminal justice system and have faith that this process will deliver a just outcome. These officers will remain on administrative duty with no police authority. While our internal investigation will continue, it is my intention to address our administrative review of the officer conduct at the conclusion of the ongoing criminal prosecution." And the law firm representing the 2 women who did file that lawsuit in the first place also issued a statement saying in part that they were grateful and pleased with the effort of the Marion County Prosecutor's Office. Reporting live, Alyssa Donovan, RTV6.
Alyssa, thank you so much. And we continue our coverage on this story, on this developing story, because only on RTV6 this morning, the Marion County Prosecutor Ryan Mears talks about this case, which is also the focus of a separate federal lawsuit. 2 IMPD officers per a grand jury indictment now face criminal charges in connection to the May protests. What's next in this case?
Well, it all starts today on Thursday with an initial hearing where the officers will be formally read the charges and they'll be made aware of the potential penalties. And then from there, the court will issue a scheduling order, which will let us know how the discovery process needs to work and then ultimately give us a trial date where we can potentially have a resolution to this case to determine whether or not those actions were lawful or not.
Is this a case like any other? Could there be a trial? Could there be a plea deal? What are the options in this process as it begins?
The grand jury process certainly allows us to move forward and have a full-fledged jury trial where 12 members of the community would come in and say, are these officers guilty or not guilty beyond a reasonable doubt? There's always an opportunity to resolve this in terms of a plea agreement. The case is just literally starting today.
Ryan Mears, Marion County Prosecutor, thank you for joining us. We appreciate your time.
Thank you very much for having me.
Again, the 4 officers are the focus of a federal lawsuit, which is separate from this situation with the grand jury. The grand jury's charges are only against 2 Metro police officers. Lauren?
Raphael, thank you. The time right now is 6:08. Want to turn to the latest numbers from the State Department of Health on COVID-19. The number of reported coronavirus cases has dropped. On Wednesday, 671 new cases were reported to the state. That's about 200 less than Monday's report. So far, 76,522 people have been diagnosed with the coronavirus in our state. 15 new deaths were also reported. That means since the start of this pandemic, more than 2,800 Hoosiers have lost their lives to COVID-19.
It is still unclear if the president's plan to provide extra unemployment benefits will ever reach Hoosiers. The funding, as you may recall, calls for states to cover 25% of the cost. The head of the Department of Workforce Development says a lot of new guidance is still being put together.
So right now, Indiana, just like many other states, all the other states, we're not in a position to give any definitive answers on just how that will look and how it plays out. The one thing that we do know for sure is that this will require us to create a new system yet again.
Commissioner Fred Payne says the department is still working with its federal partners before making any decisions. As you know, tomorrow we face a major deadline in our state. Landlords across Indiana can start the eviction process. This after the governor decided that he would not extend the moratorium. So working for you, WRTV6 has learned that some community groups are preparing for that big fallout. Holy Family Shelter expects the need for assistance to grow even more so after the eviction moratorium is lifted tomorrow. The shelter itself is already at capacity.
I think the need for families regarding these services is going to be cataclysmic. The moratorium itself has held off a number of families that otherwise would have become literally homeless on the street.
The shelter is working to place families in extended stay hotels and provide other necessities and resources. Many organizations, churches, and shelters are also stepping up to help negotiate payment plans between families and landlords to prevent the evictions. And this week, the Indianapolis City County Council approved an extra $7.5 million in funding for rental assistance just in Marion County alone. For more information on that program, you can go to indyrent.org. Now, if you live outside of Marion County, you have a separate program. You can go to indianahousingnnow.org. The state is adding another $15 million to that statewide program.
And Raphael, moratoriums on utility disconnections end Friday. The Indiana Utility Regulatory Commission decided to end this order, but the IURC is providing some relief for customers. It ordered utility companies to offer extended payment arrangements of 6 months through October 12th. It also announced the continued suspension of late fees, deposits, disconnection fees, reconnection fees. That's all through October 12th. A new warning from the director of the CDC this morning, why he says the fall could be the worst that America has ever seen if you don't mask up.
A local nonprofit is holding an event to help parents navigate virtual learning and keep kids safe online. Details of where you can get that help after the break. But first, our Todd Clausen standing by with a great Thursday forecast. Good morning, TK.
Raphael, good morning to you. It is a great forecast. I know a bunch of kids are in school already, but when the kids come home from school, the pool, a good place to be. Later on this afternoon, temperatures will be climbing into the mid-80s. Plenty of sunshine as well. UV index, though, high for the day today, so make sure if you are going to the pool that you have lots of sunscreen on. Tomorrow, storms return to the forecast. We'll talk about that and look ahead to your weekend as well. Coming up when Good Morning Indiana continues right here on RTV 6.
Welcome back. A new warning from the director of the CDC. He says unless everyone wears a mask, the fall could be the worst America has ever seen.
Despite some encouraging trends this week across the country, those researchers say, Lauren, that this could be the perfect storm. ABC's Andrea Fujiji has the latest.
This morning, nearly half the country seeing deaths on the rise from coronavirus. And though hospitalizations are decreasing, infections are increasing in some of the nation's largest cities. Houston reporting nearly 1,000 virus deaths as Texas schools prepare to start the school year.
The countdown to the first day of school in person is like a ticking time bomb unless we do this right.
County officials say children should not be in class, but the governor says that decision is up to local districts. Just north of San Antonio, this school adding plexiglass barriers and mandatory masks for everyone.
They make me feel safe, but I'm just really excited to go back.
But in Georgia, nearly 1,200 students and staff quarantined after dozens tested positive in Cherokee County, now forcing the closure of 2 high schools. And at the school where these images of students without masks went viral and dozens tested positive, students are now protesting a decision to switch to partial online learning.
We shouldn't be forced to go online because others are fearful.
President Trump Wednesday reiterating his call to reopen classrooms.
So sitting in isolation with a computer, looking at a laptop, is not the same as being out there in the real world.
CDC Director Dr. Robert Redfield warning if people don't wear masks, we could see our worst fall ever.
Well, I'm not asking some of America to do it. We all got to do it.
Researchers warn with current virus levels, a fall resurgence threatens parts of the Midwest and East Coast, including New York. After an uptick of cases in one Brooklyn neighborhood, New York City is now working to get all residents there tested.
Andrea Fujii, ABC News, New York.
Well, as many families are going to e-learning, either by choice or not, many parents are concerned about safety. A Danville nonprofit is holding an event to help parents navigate virtual learning and to keep their kids safe online. Sheltering Wings will hold a webinar tonight focusing on parental controls, safeguarding apps, navigating social media, and other tips. 41% of tweens and 62% of teens spend more than 4 hours on their phones each day. Young people are more than twice as likely as they were just a few years ago to say that they must use computers for homework each night.
We want to be able to offer parents resources, so we have like some just general information about managing technology and the usage of it, from like creating a media plan and focused family time and flexibility and things like that, as well as safety.
Well, the webinar begins at 6:30 p.m. tonight. You can register in this story on the RTV6 mobile app or also at our website, theindychannel.com. If you have until about 5:30 to register for that event, and it is free. Raphael?
Coronavirus relief aid for Washington, as you may have heard, is still in limbo. Negotiations have come to a halt on Capitol Hill. The White House and Congress they're disagreeing on major funding for reopening schools and launching a national strategy for containing the virus. The House and Senate are also essentially closed at this point for their August recess, and they won't return until September. This morning, we're looking at a beautiful August day. Todd Clausen's going to get a pay raise because, Todd, it's looking good out there.
Yeah, it really is, Raphael. Now the sun is starting to brighten up the sky off on the eastern horizon. So let's take a look from downtown to the north, and you can see on the right-hand side of your screen there, the sky's getting brighter off in the distance. A few fair weather clouds, but a beautiful sunrise starting to take shape here across the area, even though sunrise officially is not until 6:56 here this morning. So with the clear skies out there in northern locations, it's running a little bit cooler and very, very comfortable with the low humidity. 60 in Peru as well as Muncie right now, where there's more clouds in place, a little bit warmer in Bloomington at 71, but a couple 50s now on the board up in Kokomo as well as Marion and Grant County there, 62 in Anderson. And as we go forward, and I'll show you in your 7-day planning forecast in just a little bit, we're going to be talking about temperatures in the 50s for a couple mornings in a row, I think, as we get into the middle on next week. More on that in just a few minutes. As far as humidity level today, it's not bad right now this morning, but it'll come up a little bit this afternoon, and we'll get into that slightly humid category, but still overall a very, very nice day. There are the clear skies from Indy to the north, some clouds down towards Bloomington, Seymour, and Greensburg. As far as rain goes, not much out there. There's some heavier rain in Kansas and Oklahoma. That's diving down into the south. You notice this weak little disturbance here from Memphis over towards Paducah. That's not out of the question. That's going to try to throw an isolated shower into our forecast later on this afternoon, but that would be only for extreme southern locations. Otherwise, we have a pretty good forecast for us for the day today, with temperatures climbing up into the mid-80s, which is seasonable for this time of year. So just get out there and enjoy this nice weather because storms return to the forecast tomorrow. Now, I mentioned the storm chance, or shower chance, I guess I should say, for the day today. Here we are at 7 o'clock this morning. We're just fine. As we get into the afternoon hours, there's going to be a few very, very spotty showers that are going to try to sneak into the Bedford-Seymour area. Not going to be very successful. So carry on with any plans that you do have. Tomorrow, a little more in the way of cloud cover. Temperatures in the mid-80s still. But tomorrow, a little better chance of some scattered storms building into the forecast area. And they'll probably back in, a little unusual, coming in from the east and then pushing towards the west as they rotate along an area of low pressure that'll be down to our south. So tomorrow, a little better chance of some scattered storms in the afternoon. Some storms possible on Saturday as well. But the day will not be a washout. And then there's that great stretch of weather I mentioned earlier here in Maine weather with lows in the 50s, probably Tuesday and Wednesday morning with high temperatures and lots of sunshine and low humidity. Going to be, Lauren, in the mid to upper 70s.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Let's take a look right now at traffic on the northeast side. Can't see it from our camera here at I-69 and I-465, but near this area as you're traveling towards Indianapolis in the downtown area and you're on Binford Boulevard, watch out for a crash. It's on East 75th Street in Binford. Again, that's on the northeast side of our city. We'll continue to monitor that. No reports of any injuries at this time. Well, people who are looking to get away during this time have been turning to alternative methods of traveling. And today's Trending 6, how you can travel in style in this luxury man cave on wheels.
Look forward to that coming up on Good Morning America, an ABC News exclusive. In June, we learned that singer Amy Grant, she underwent open heart surgery. And this morning on GMA, she's opening up about her health journey right here on RTV6. And a big good morning to Westfield, West Lafayette, and Wayne Township in Indianapolis, the home of the Giants. You're watching Good Morning Indiana right here on RTV6. Take a look at that skyline. We live in a beautiful city. We'll be right back right here on RTV6.
It is 6:25. Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. Raphael, it is time to talk about what is trending at 6. What do you got?
We keep talking about our birthdays coming up. So, Lauren, I have an idea for you, for me, right? Because we're such good friends. So here's something that I want you to think about as I read this. If you're looking to travel but want to avoid planes and stay socially distant from others, check this out. My good friend Sylvester Stallone is selling his man cave on wheels. Thank you, Sly. The tricked out Escalade comes fully loaded, complete with a 43-inch Ultra HD Smart TV, something small to make those long trips more bearable. It will only set you back. Lauren, listen, I have a deal for you. $350,000, which is somewhat of a bargain, as Stallone paid a whopping $409,000 for it. So you get a break, I'm sure. He'll talk to you. I mean, I have his number. Call him, hook me up.
I think that's in my budget for your birthday coming up next week, so we'll think about it. I'll see if they have any openings in their schedule. Well, 2 years ago, an ambitious little boy in Louisiana started a lemonade stand, but 8-year-old Chase LaFleur has now taken his business to heights many kids could even dream of. With high demand, he's serving gallons of his family's secret recipe to people outside of his own neighborhood and in surrounding communities. And with his success, he's giving back a portion of the money he earns. He gives away in gift cards to children in need, free lemonade, and he's on his way to creating his very own nonprofit. That is awesome. Good for him.
Well, listen, Lauren, if you buy me that car, I'm going to give it to him so that he could drive it when he grows up.
Nice
so I just want you to know, well, I thought I would do that. A big good morning on this Thursday to Seth Morales. Seth is our hometown hero on this Thursday. Seth runs the Morales Group staffing company here in Indianapolis. And during this pandemic, his company has remained committed to helping people find work during one of the worst economic downturns in our history. So a big thank you to him. A big thank you this morning to our Todd Clausen, who has a great forecast for you on this Thursday. Good morning, TK.
Yeah, Raphael, good morning to you. And we're getting off to a wonderful start here all across the area. Just take a look at the sunrise that is taking place right now. Beautiful out there, just some fair weather clouds. And it's really, really comfortable as well with temperatures that are in the 50s and 60s across the area. A couple 70s down to the south where there's a little more in the way of cloud cover. But enjoy the sunshine here this morning. Be a great morning for a walk or maybe a quick bike ride outside, as temperatures will be in the 60s. And eventually by 10 a.m. we are pushing into the 70s. High temperatures today will be eventually topping off in the mid 80s with partly cloudy skies and just a little bit of humidity out there, but overall not that bad throughout the day today. Today's the best weather day of the week. Changes arrive, unfortunately, for Friday and the weekend. More on that coming up in just a little bit.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Well, with the $600 weekly federal unemployment help now over, for now, the money may be getting tight for many families. Congress and President Trump promised to help, but where is the help for you? Consumer reporter John Matarese looks into the status of the next round of aid so that you don't waste your money.
We're hearing a lot of talk about extended unemployment benefits, whether they will resume, and if so, how big the payments will be. But whatever happened to the second round of stimulus checks? Those $1,200 stimulus checks were a godsend to millions of Americans back during the dark days of spring. But for most families, that money's now gone, spent to cover credit card bills, mortgages, and more. So where is the next round? Forbes magazine says the stimulus is something both President Trump and Congress agree on. Almost everyone in Washington wants to send another round. But the plan is being held up by the debate over unemployment benefits, with Democrats and Republicans fighting over how much of those $600 weekly payments that they can afford to restore. If President Trump and Congress can reach agreement on unemployment soon, Forbes says the next round of stimulus checks could go out by Labor Day. So don't waste your money. I'm John Matarese. Good morning, Indiana.
This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
It's Thursday morning. Here's a look at your 6:30 news feed. A man fighting for his life following a shooting outside an East Side liquor store. This happened around 1:30 this morning at the Rural Inn on East Michigan Street. Police tell us the man in his 50s was shot while walking in that area, taken to the hospital in critical condition. This morning, police have not released any information on a suspect.
This morning, attorneys for the only Native American on death row are asking a judge to delay his execution. Attorneys for Lesmond Mitchell argue that the procedures must follow Arizona law. Mitchell, who is Navajo, is set to be put to death on August 26th in Terre Haute. A U.S. District Court judge in Arizona says he'll make a decision quickly. Mitchell is convicted of killing a Navajo woman and her granddaughter back in 2001.
This morning, Purdue University officials say just 1% of students tested for COVID-19 have tested positive. The school leaders say more than 15,000 students have been tested, with 133 coming back positive for the virus. By the time that school starts on August the 24th, 40,000 students are expected to be tested. Those who test positive with the virus must self-isolate for 10 days before coming back on campus.
And some bad news for Butler fans this morning. All the Big East fall sports are postponed. That includes men's and women's soccer, cross country, and also volleyball. The Big East says they'll be looking to continue those fall sports in the spring. Butler's football season was already put on hold by the Pioneer Football League. First, here at 6:30, we want to thank you for joining our team on Good Morning Indiana. I'm Lauren Casey. Raphael, good morning to you down in Johnson County.
Good morning to you, Lauren. Got a little bit excited there. I wanted to say good morning to you as I look outside of my living room window. The sunrise is about to occur here. It's been hard to see, kind of a couple of cloudy days, but Todd Clausen is looking fantastic on this Thursday.
Yeah, you know, it really is, Raphael. Not only will we have the sunshine that you mentioned, but the humidity not super high, and the temperatures where they should be this time of year. We're starting off in the 60s in most locations here across central Indiana, but there are a couple 50s now on the board in northern locales. Marion at 59 degrees. The contrast, though, is Bloomington at 71. You ask what's the difference? Why that pretty big temperature spread this morning? And it all has to do with the sky cover. A little bit of cloud cover in Bloomington down towards Seymour right now. Clear skies to the north, but the clouds, if you're seeing them down in those southern locations, they should start to thin out now that the sun is coming up. As far as any rain goes, we should be able to avoid that for the most part today. There could be a stray shower in far southern locations later on this afternoon, but definitely would not bank on that. Otherwise, partly cloudy skies today. 82 degrees already by the noon hour, on our way up to a high temperature today in the mid-80s. Lauren?
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Let's take a look at traffic right now. No problems here at I-69 at the I-465 ramp system. As you can see, everything's traveling up to speed. Be aware, though, as you continue on I-69 onto Binford Boulevard here as you're heading maybe in towards the downtown area. We do have a crash reported along Binford Boulevard at East 75th Street. That cleanup still ongoing. And then continuing southwest in that direction at 56 and Emerson Way, another crash cleanup there. No injuries to report at either location, but of course we'll keep our eye on both of those situations and we'll keep you updated on any delays. Raphael?
We begin this half hour with a developing story, more fallout from the May protests in downtown Indianapolis. A Marion County grand jury finding criminal charges against 2 of 4 Metro police officers. Our Alyssa Donovan joins us live this morning with the details. Alyssa, good morning.
Good morning, Raphael. And as you said, these charges stem from an incident that happened during those protests in downtown Indianapolis back in May, specifically during an incident where 2 women were being arrested by these officers. Now, what we know is video showing IMPD officers repressing one woman with batons and pepper bullets went viral. During that video, another woman was also pushed on the ground before being apprehended. The women filed a lawsuit against the IMPD officers. 2 officers involved in the incident face 6 counts each, including battery and official misconduct. In Wednesday's afternoon press conference, Marion County Prosecutor Ryan Mears stated that the grand jury's decision to indict was based on the evidence presented to them and the law concerning police actions.
And the law's standard is it reasonable under the circumstances? You are to consider the severity of the crime, the threat posed by the individual involved, and whether or not that person was actively resisting at the time the incident occurred.
IMPD Chief Randall Taylor says both officers will remain on administrative duty. During that time, they will have no police authority, and the Indianapolis Metro Police Department is also conducting their own internal investigation into the incident. Reporting live, Alyssa Donovan, RTV6.
Alyssa, thank you so much. So the attorney representing the two ladies that Alyssa just talked about is reacting to the indictments, saying in part to RTV6 the following: "We are very pleased with the effort, resolve, and diligence shown by Ryan Mears, the prosecutor here in Marion County. He and his staff responded to this matter with the utmost respect and regard, not only for Ms. Westfield and Ms. Harding, but also our community."
It is 6:35. I want to get to the latest on the coronavirus pandemic now and the impact it's having here in Indiana. This morning, state health officials confirmed 671 new cases of the virus. Since the pandemic began, more than 76,000 Hoosiers have tested positive for the virus. 15 additional deaths are also being reported. Since March, nearly 2,900 Hoosiers have died from the coronavirus.
This morning, state leaders are promising more information surrounding coronavirus cases, both in schools as well as nursing homes. The state is now launching a searchable long-term care dashboard. Nursing homes are required to submit their data to the state. The state will then verify the information and add it to that dashboard. The state health commissioner also says that officials are considering a school dashboard as well. By our count here at WRTV, there are 55 confirmed cases at Central Indiana schools alone, and hundreds of students and educators being quarantined. We asked why the state is not providing clearer guidelines for schools as they begin classes.
All of the decisions that we've made with regards to this pandemic have been difficult decisions to make. And that's why our local public health people and the State Department of Health are happy to partner with any superintendents, principals, school administrators, local health departments across the state to help in that decision-making process as we look at all the different metrics of their particular county.
Dr. Bach says that schools will not be COVID-free, but they need to develop plans to quickly isolate and minimize the spread.
Well, tonight, Raphael, IPS will host a virtual meeting called Introduction to IPS Remote Learning, What Families Should Expect. This will allow families and members of the community to learn more about the district's all-remote learning plan, which starts Monday. The meeting will be at 5 o'clock and available via Zoom. The district is investing $16.5 million to provide electronic devices to make sure that all students can learn virtually. And this morning, the Department of Justice says that schools can do more to improve safety on campus and make students feel protected. Two of the items to help prevent school violence are making sure that students have access to mental health services and having strong anti-bullying programs in place. Teachers and faculty also need to review and update the school's safety program and make necessary changes each year. The report also listed reviewing social media accounts of students as a way to prevent violence, along with an anonymous reporting system if someone hears something.
And you this morning, people facing suspended driver's licenses, they're signing up to pay their child support. About 135 people in Marion County alone want to set up those payment plans to drive legally again.
Based on the numbers, are you surprised that people are coming forward, they're self-reporting and saying, yes, I owe you money, but I want to get this fixed for myself, for my kids, and my family?
Well, I think it speaks to people are willing to take advantage of resources when you offer them. And when you offer opportunities to people to improve themselves or put them in a better position, I found that people are very willing to accept those challenges and those opportunities. And that's what we've seen with this program. And to me, it's just an encouraging sign that there are so many people who want to do the right thing, who want to be involved in their kids' life, who want to make good on their financial obligation, but are being held back for a number of different reasons. And if we're in a position to reduce those barriers, we're going to do that because, again, we're trying to help people.
Again, this program is only available here in the capital city in Marion County. To connect to the program, the Good Faith hotline is 317-327-2700. The Good Faith campaign ends this month and then will be reviewed. Back in December, 105 people signed up for the program. You can also find all of this information and the phone number you see there on your screen on the RTV6 app.
Well, the pandemic has most people feeling a little bit stressed these days. So after the break, what the stress could be doing to your hair.
Plus, mosquitoes are loving all the recent rain we've seen here in Central Indiana. In just 3 minutes, we're breaking down why state health officials are warning, don't let those mosquitoes bite you. That story, much more, coming up right here on Good Morning Indiana. Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana on this Thursday. And some good news for food shoppers. Grocery store prices appear to be going down slightly. The government says that meat prices in particular fell after soaring back in May and in June. For example, uncooked beef, roasts, and steaks got 8.7% cheaper from June to July. That's a notable exception. The price of hot dogs, which have been in high demand, jumped 2.4%, perhaps in part because of the 4th of July holiday.
Well, this morning, state health officials are encouraging Hoosiers to protect themselves from mosquitoes. The warning comes as mosquitoes in Marion, Allen, and St. Joseph counties tested positive for the West Nile virus. No humans have tested positive for the disease so far this year. Now, according to the CDC, symptoms for West Nile include a high fever, headache, and stiff neck.
More people are finding themselves suffering from stress, causing their hair to fall out, in part because of this pandemic, right? So doctors call it shock hair loss and blame the stress on COVID-19. Emotional or psychological stress often causes shock hair loss, which can take 3 to 4 months to even start. Doctors say the condition can cause up to 50% of someone's hair to go into a shedding phase. The good news is that doctors say it can last 3 to 9 months, but a proper diet and enough sleep can minimize the effects.
IndyCar drivers taking to the track for the first time on Thursday to prepare for the greatest spectacle in racing. This morning, we're just 4 minutes away from hearing from the fastest driver on the track so far, Todd.
And speaking of cars, if you're thinking about getting a car wash here throughout the course of the next couple days, today we'll give you the green light because we're expecting partly cloudy skies and dry conditions. You get the caution light, though, for Friday and Saturday as some spotty storms will start to build into the forecast. We'll talk about those storm chances for you and look ahead to what I think is a really, really nice stretch of weather that's going to arrive by the middle of next week. It's all in your 7-day planning forecast coming up when Good Morning Indiana continues right here on RTV 6.
Welcome back. The time right now is 6:46 on your Thursday. Here's a live look at a little traffic backup over on I-70. This is a view near Cumberland Road where we have some delays in the eastbound direction. This is due to some ongoing construction we have in a left lane closure. You can see drivers scooting over and sharing that one right lane. Westbound lanes heading into the Indianapolis area from parts of Hancock County traveling up to speed, so no issues there. So it's the eastbound direction impacted this morning on I-70. Raphael?
So, Lauren, on this Thursday, let me hear a little boom baby for the blue and gold, right? Because a comeback win for the Pacers as they get closer to the playoffs. After a tough start for the blue and gold, it was a back and forth game. TJ Warren and Malcolm Brogdon sat out with soreness, but Doug McDermott scored 16 points off the bench. Miles Turner and Justin Holiday led the team with 18 each. Holiday hit 2 free throws in the final 10 seconds, sealing that victory. That means Indiana wins, boom baby, 108-104. And the win means that the Pacers and the Miami Heat will face off in the first round of the NBA playoffs. The two teams play each other on Friday in the last regular season matchup of the restart. Those playoffs will get underway either on Monday or Tuesday.
Well, Raphael, the first practice for the greatest spectacle in racing is now in the books. On Wednesday, veterans return to the historic oval at IMS for that refresher, and the rookies are getting a taste of what it feels like to race in Indy. It was a great first day of practice for the mayor of Hinchtown. James Hinchcliffe returned the fastest lap on day 1. Marco Andretti and Scott Dixon also were in the top 3. Ryan Hunter-Ray, Fernando Alonso, and Joseph Newgarden round out the quick 6. Here's what Hinch had to say following that practice.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, it's always nice rolling off the truck here with a car that's got good pace. You know, there's no worse feeling than being like, okay, we've got a day to find a mile and a half.
Well, drivers will return to the track in just a few hours for day 2. Practice will run from 11 this morning until 5 o'clock tonight. And tonight's the night for our first trackside special. Dave First and Brad Brown will take a special look at the Penske profile as a new era begins at IMS. Plus, how Simon Pagenaud is preparing to defend his reign as the IndyCar champ, and the life lessons Team Penske president Tim Cindric learned at Pike High School. That's all tonight at 7:30 live from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And Todd, it looks like they're going to have likely a dry day as they head out to practice during the daytime hours.
Yeah, they should be in tip-top shape there out at IMS throughout the day today. And really, most of central Indiana is going to have a really nice forecast for the day today. Great start to the day with the sunshine out there as you look from downtown to the north. Just a few fair weather clouds and temperatures that are really, really comfortable. We're at 71 in Bloomington, where there's a little more in the way of cloud cover. Clearer skies, as you just saw in Indianapolis, 68 degrees. But look at those temperatures to the north, 60 in Muncie as well as Peru, 59 in Kokomo as well as Marion. So it's a nice, comfortable morning, especially in northern locations. The humidity is low, so as you walk out the door, you are in great shape. And notice the temperature trend as we break it down for you hour by hour here over the next couple hours, or through 6 p.m. most of the day anyway. We're warming through the 70s pretty quickly this morning, and by the noon hour, we should already be up to 81 degrees. 84 is our normal high for this time of year, and we should get above that by a degree or two across most of the area. So it's just a very typical summer-like day. Pay no attention to the green you see on the radar there north of Lafayette. That's just a little bit of feedback. There's no rain out there. There is a little bit of cloud cover, as I mentioned, towards Bloomington as well as Seymour. And there are some showers a little further to the south. Nothing organized near Paducah, but you do notice a little bit of green here down towards Memphis as well. It's not out of the question that southern locations today could pick up a quick passing shower, but a lot of these showers are going to fall apart as they advance to the north. That's why I'm just going with partly cloudy skies for you for the day today. If there's anywhere that does see a shower, it's going to be Mitchell, Bedford, over into the Seymour area as you work your way south throughout parts of Jackson County. As we go throughout the day, whether you're going to IMS or you can't go inside, but maybe you're going to go sit outside and listen to the cars go around the track. I know some people have been doing that. You're in good shape. Partly cloudy skies. There's the temperatures climbing up into the mid-80s later on this afternoon. Tomorrow, a little bit cooler due to more in the way of cloud cover with the chance of an isolated storm in the forecast. And as we get into your weekend forecast, temperatures right around 85 degrees. Both days feature the chance of some spotty storms, although they become a little less numerous during the day on a Sunday, I think, as a cold front goes through. And once that front is through, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe even Thursday of next week, an absolutely beautiful stretch of weather with the sunshine. Temperatures in the 50s to start the morning, probably by Tuesday and Wednesday, with high temperatures, Lauren, that'll be topping off in the 70s. So something to look forward to. And don't cancel those weekend plans Friday or Saturday because of the storm threat. Should be just pretty spotty across the area.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. Let's take a look up here on the northeast side. This is our camera at I-69 and I-465, where you can see traffic is traveling up to speed. So that is good news if you're on the interstate. As you're continuing southbound, though, on I-69 onto Benford Boulevard, we still have a crash at 75th Street you'll need to watch out for this morning. No injuries to report. Keep that in mind for your commute. And then southwest of there just a little bit, we have another crash at 56th Street and Emerson Way. Well, it is Thursday. That means we're digging into the RTV6 vault, and coming up, we're taking a step-by-step look at why parents were concerned with boy band fever. That's after the break. Stick around. Okay, Raphael, it is Throwback Thursday time, and the pandemic has everything here during summertime, feeling like it's hanging tough.
And of course, Lauren, based on those song references, since you and I are really young at heart, we need Todd Clausen to sort of decipher those references. But in the meantime, while we wait for Todd Clausen to explain those 80s references, in the early 80s and late 90s, everyone was really obsessed with the boys in the band. And we're talking about New Kids on the Block, of course. Lauren, you may know them as NKTB. But in August of 1990, former WRTV anchor Dion Willis, who just had a birthday, happy birthday, Dion, she caught up with one 13-year-old who had boy band fever.
I turned on MTV and I saw their video, Please Don't Go Girl, and I just liked it so much I started crying. And then from then on, I just gathered stuff and I got their tapes and stuff.
So Dion talked with a local expert who said that boy band fever was harmless and there was nothing that parents of young girls and boys, I would imagine, going through the same thing needed to worry about. And so, of course, Lauren, in the words of a different boy band, bye, 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 because I have nothing else to say about New Kids on the Block.
I got that reference.
You got it. You got it. You got that reference there?
Yeah.
Raphael? I remember all those. I remember all those bright colors and the.
Oh, I know you did.
The rage going on. All right. Here's a quick look at your forecast. It's a good day today with partly cloudy skies and a high temperature that'll be in the mid-80s. Very seasonable. Some spotty storms arrive tomorrow and also on Saturday. Don't cancel plans, though. Then a beautiful stretch of weather as we get into Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Temperatures for morning lows in the 50s and 60s. High temperatures in the upper 70s to low 80s with lots of sunshine. Something to look forward to, Lauren.
All right, Todd, thanks so much. We're back in 25 minutes. We hope you have a great Thursday.